Joining us now for reaction here in studio is Art Arthur with the Center for Immigration Studies and immigration attorney Alan Orr. All right, gentlemen, great to have you on. This is a big deal, I think, because we've now seen large groups of people, not just one group, but several groups, over the last 4 or 5 months begin to move north from through Mexico all the way to the U.S. border. This latest group is due to arrive any day now. What is the immigration system in our country supposed to do when we have masses of humanity rushing the border and having their actions facilitated in part by U.S. lawyers? Now, Alan, you're a immigration attorney. They're flying down there, at least the two that we've been able to identify, and apparently they're representing hundreds of people. How can you represent hundreds of clients? You don't know who they are. You don't know what their intentions are.
Well, I don't think they're actually representing. They might be having clinics to sort of inform people of what their rights in the United States is. And I really don't think it's that big of a problem because USC.gov also tells immigrants all the time exactly what their rights are to file the asylum claim. So it's just one of the things that they're doing as a humanitarian issue. It's sort of a Good Samaritan type thing to go to these people who are in need from their home countries to sort of inform them of, if they're coming to the United States, this is what you will need to do and what you will encounter at the port of entry.
Art, here's the reasons to seek asylum. You're a former immigration judge, you know this. Persecution, you have to have credible fear of persecution due to race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Explain that, because it looks like a lot of these Hondurans especially are coming here because of economic concerns. They want a better life. I mean, a lot of people in Africa want to come here, they have a lot of better life, but they can't come through Mexico. They have to go in a boat and get there. But it's an economic concern masquerading as a asylum claim, credible fear of persecution, often for political or criminal or so forth.
Four of these grounds for asylum are very easy: race, religion, nationality, and political opinion. Membership in a particular social group is wide open, however. It can be anything. It can be, you know, based on gender identity. It can be based on, you know, I was harmed because of my familial relationship. And for that reason, most of these people come in claiming that they've been harmed by the gangs. And so the judges, the asylum officers have to figure out whether there's a cognizable claim based on membership in a particular social group, given the claim that they have. And that's really where we get all these people.
But right now we have 311,000 asylum claims backlogged in the United States as of January, 311,000. So DHS has said, this is a crisis point. We got to really winnow down the fraud, which there's a lot of fraud here. And we got to do something about this because we don't have the manpower, we don't have the money, we don't have the judges, we don't have the prosecutors, we don't have the system to do this. So Alan, you know, everyone wants to be a humanitarian. We give a lot of money to other countries. Millions of people around the world want to come here because they're being persecuted. I mean, a lot of people in the United States feel persecuted, of minority groups, different sexual orientation groups, but people all over the world believe they have a credible fear of persecution. Conceivably, they could all apply for asylum, correct?
That's correct. And under the current laws, there's not an issue with that. There's no sort of bell curve on humanity, right? So if someone they meet the requirements of the law.
What about the humanity of the American people, the American taxpayer, the American school child in an overcrowded classroom? Do they have any rights here?
I think they all have rights, and that's not necessarily the fault of the immigrants, right? That's sort of the process, and that's sort of the reason for the backlog in the court systems. You have to look broader than those issues for the school. That's something about where Congress wants to spend money. If they're spending more money on the military,
Americans. They want to spend money on Americans because they're suffering too.
Well, I think they're also spending money on American by making sure that our borders represent and help have a nice situation. I mean, we drop bombs in Syria.
Wait. Our borders should have a nice situation.
No. They want to make sure that America has a nice situation. Our country is built on a country of immigrants in which we have been humanitarians
not illegal
across
immigrants.
the world. Well, they're not illegal because they're not here. So if they're not in the United States, they're not illegal.
But there are a lot of these immigrants who, in New York Times and AP reports, is that many of them say they're going to get here. Not like, oh, they're all going to stay outside the border and they're going to be dutifully processed. No, a lot of them say, we're getting here by hook or by crook. And the sense is they have a right to be here. It's not just, oh, help. It's we have a right to be here. And Mexico deserves some of the blame here, Art, because Mexico, instead of deporting them from Mexico or keeping them, they are giving them these temporary visas to travel from southern Mexico up to the border. Trump is about up to here with Mexico on this.
Absolutely critical point, because quite frankly, Mexico needs to defend its southern border in order to stop these individuals from coming to the United States. In addition, Mexico is an asylum granting country itself, and if these individuals are in fear for their lives, as Alan indicates, quite frankly, they can apply for asylum in Mexico. The fact that they continue on to the United States indicates that perhaps they might have economic reasons for coming here.
We forum shop and in the law, they're country shopping, and right now America is better than Mexico, I guess, for asylum seekers. Guys, great segment, as always.